Myself Nishad, a grand welcomes to Outens Edus Online. In this session, we are going to discuss about Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem, and we will do some problems including both independent sources and dependent sources, and also for DC networks and AC networks. Thevenin's theorem is applicable for both AC network and DC network, but the network should be a linear network and the elements should be bilateral elements like capacitance, inductance and resistance. And this theorem can't be applicable if the circuit containing some unilateral elements such as diodes, transistors or semiconductor devices. And this theorem is applicable even though if the circuit consisting of independent sources and dependent sources. Now we can state Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem. This theorem is applicable to both AC and DC networks. And circuit may consisting of independent and dependent sources. That is independent and dependent sources. Either independent voltage source or current source, or dependent voltage source or current source. Then the next condition is the circuit should be a linear network. That is a linear network containing bilateral elements. Bilateral elements such as resistance, inductance and capacitance. So all these are passive elements. Passive elements. And in the circuit it consisting of independent sources. So independent voltage source or current source, that is an active element. Active elements. And the circuit should be a two-terminal network. So the network should be a two-terminal network. Okay, so all these are the conditions for applying Thevenin's and Norton's theorem. We can state Thevenin's theorem. It states that if any linear bilateral network consisting of independent or dependent voltage sources or current sources, then the entire network can be replaced by a single voltage sources in series with a impedance. That impedance is called Thevenin's impedance. That means we have a linear network. This is a linear network consisting of passive elements such as inductance, resistance or capacitor. That means a bilateral elements and may be contain more than one voltage sources or current source. That may be independent voltage sources or dependent voltage sources. Then the network have two terminals, terminal A and B. Then by using Thevenin's theorem, this entire network can be replaced by a single voltage source with a series impedance. That single voltage source is called VTH or Thevenin's equivalent voltage, and a Thevenin's impedance ZTH. And this is a terminal AB where we can connect a load. Okay, suppose the circuit consisting of only resistance, then we can replace ZTH by RTH, where RTH is the Thevenin's equivalent resistance. And suppose the source is a DC source, then we can replace this by a DC source. And VTH is the Thevenin's equivalent voltage. And across this terminal, we can connect a load. That may be a resistive load or an impedance. Okay. Now, what is VTH? VTH is the open circuit voltages across the load terminal. What we have to do is, we open circuit the load and find the voltage across it. That is open circuit voltage. That is called Thevenin's equivalent voltage. And RTH is the Thevenin's equivalent resistance. That is obtained across the load terminal. That means we are calculating the value of RTH across the load terminal by short circuiting all the voltage sources and open circuiting all the independent current sources. That means we are deactivating voltage sources and current sources. Deactivating a voltage source means we make the voltage across it is equal to 0. That is by making short circuiting the voltage source. And deactivating an independent current source means we make the current is equal to 0. That is achieved by open circuiting the current source. But we can't deactivate a dependent source. So we can't do anything on a dependent source. We can only deactivate an independent source. This is the statement of Thevenin's theorem. That means VTH is the V open circuit voltage across the load terminal. Load may be either resistive load or in the case of an AC network that may be an impedance that is denoted by ZL. Then for calculating RTH, what we have to do is we deactivate all independent voltage sources and current source. That means short circuit all voltage source and open circuit all independent current source. Okay, but we can't deactivate a dependent source. And do not deactivate an dependent source. So these things we should remember. Okay, now a network consisting of only independent sources, then we can find VTH and RTH by conventional method. That means if the network consisting of only independent sources, that is independent voltage source and independent current source, that is indicated by plus or minus an independent voltage source, and independent current source is indicated by this. Conventional method means open circuit all current source and short circuit all voltage source. VTH, that is equal to VOC, that is equal to open circuit voltage across the load terminal. Then find RTH. RTH is calculating by deactivating all sources, that is all independent sources, that is open circuiting current source and short circuiting voltage source. RTH, that is calculated with reference to the load terminal. This is calculating with respect to load terminal. That means we open circuit the load and calculate the effective value of the resistance or equivalent value of the resistance with respect to the load terminals. Okay. Suppose the circuit consisting of only dependent source, that is only dependent source. Now VTH, that is equal to 0 and ISC, that is a short circuit current through the load. We can remove the load and short circuit, and the current passing through that short circuit path is called ISC, that is short circuit current, that is equal to 0 if the circuit consisting of only dependent sources. And the third case is circuit consisting of both dependent and independent sources. That means circuit consisting of independent voltage source or independent current source and dependent voltage source and dependent current source. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to calculate open circuit voltage across the load terminal, that is a Thevenin's equivalent voltage. So calculate VTH, that is equal to open circuit voltage across the load terminal, and calculate ISC, that is a short circuit current through the load. Short circuit the load and obtain the current passing through that short circuit path, that is ISC. Then RTH, equivalent Thevenin's resistance, that is equal to VTH, that is open circuit voltage divided by I short circuit current. Okay, or if it is an AC network, then RTH is replaced by ZTH, that is equal to VTH by ISC. ZTH is the Thevenin's equivalent impedance. Okay, now we can define Norton's theorem. Norton's theorem is nothing but we are replacing the entire network by a single current source in parallel with an equivalent impedance. That means we have a linear network, and let this be the terminal A and B. This is a linear network consisting of bilateral elements and voltage sources and current sources. That may be dependent voltage source or independent voltage source and current source. Now this network can be replaced by a single circuit that consisting of a current source that is in parallel with a resistance, and this is our terminal, and again this is a two terminal network. This current is called IN, that is Norton's current, and this is called Norton's resistance RN, where Norton resistance RN is same as that of the Thevenin's equivalent resistance RTH, and Norton's current is ISC, that is a short circuit current through the load. We short circuit the load and obtain the current passing through that path, that is Norton current or ISC. We have a direct relationship between VTH, IN, RN and RTH. Suppose this is our Thevenin's voltage VTH and IN is the Norton's current. So VTH is the open circuit voltage across the load terminal, and IN is the short circuit current flowing through the load, and the Norton resistance RN is same as that of the Thevenin's equivalent resistance. In the case of an AC network, Zn that is equal to ZTH. Okay, resistance is replaced by impedance. Okay, now we can obtain ISC, that is a short circuit current, that is a Norton's current, that is equal to VTH divided by RTH, or VTH is equal to ISC into RTH. So this is a relation between Thevenin's voltage and Norton's current. Suppose this is a Thevenin's equivalent circuit with VTH is equal to 10 volt, and let this is the Thevenin's equivalent resistance RTH, that is given as 2 ohm, and we are connecting the load across this terminal AB. Now we can find the load current IL when we close the circuit. IL that is equal to VTH divided by this RTH plus RL, that is the load resistance. Okay, now we can similarly obtain the Norton's equivalent circuit from this figure. So we are replacing this voltage source by a current source. That current is short circuit current or Norton's current IN, that is in parallel with a resistance, that is Norton resistance RN, and this is our terminal A and B. Here we can connect the load RL. Okay, now what is IN? The Norton's current IN that is equal to VTH divided by RTH. In this problem, that is equal to 10 divided by 2, that is equal to 5 ampere. So this current is 5 ampere, and we know that Rn is same as that of the Thevenin's equivalent resistance. So Rn is equal to 2 ohm. We can obtain this IL by making use of current division rule. That is IL, this is equal to this current IN into this other branch resistance, that is Rn, divided by total resistance, that is sum of Rn and RL. Rn plus RL. So we can determine IL by making use of current division rule. Similarly, suppose we have a Norton circuit, then we can directly convert that into Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Okay, we have a linear network, and this network containing only DC sources and resistance, that is a statement, and we want to find this voltage V, and the options are given 14 volt, 2 volt, 8 volt and indeterminate, that is option D. Okay, now we have a 2 ampere current. So this is our terminal A, B. 2 ampere current source, 3 ohm resistance and an 8 volt independent voltage source. Now we want to find V. So we can apply Kirchhoff's voltage law for this loop, that is we are applying KVL. I am starting from this point. Let the voltage across this current source be V2. Okay, that is a voltage across the current source 2 ampere. Let V2A. Right. Now, let the polarity be plus minus and we are moving along the direction of current. So, applying KVL for this loop, that means V2A plus voltage across this 3 ohm resistance, that is 3 ohm into current passing through this 3 ohm resistance, that is 2 ampere. So 3 into 2. Now, so we are moving along higher potential to lower potential. So plus 8, then we are moving from minus to plus, that is from lower potential to higher potential. So minus V, that is equal to 0. So 3 into 2, 6 plus 8, that is equal to 14. So V2A plus 14, this is equal to V. I take V to the RHS. So V is equal to V2A plus 14. And the value of voltage across this independent current source is unknown. That may be any value. So V is equal to 14 plus an unknown value. So the correct option is we can't determine the value of V. So indeterminate. Okay. Now we have circuit which comprises of dependent current source. The value of this current will depend on the voltage across this terminal, that is Vx, and an independent voltage source 4 volt. Now we want to find RTH and VTH and choices are given. This is a previous year gate question. Okay, we want to find the open circuit voltage with respect to this terminal. So Vx is same as that of the open circuit voltage, that is a Thevenin's equivalent voltage. Since this is an open circuit, so no current will pass through this 3 kilo ohm resistance. So I is equal to 0 through this 3 kilo ohm resistance. So the entire current will pass through this network. Okay, this is a closed path. Now consider this node as A. And we can apply KCL at this node A. Since this is an open circuit, so this positive terminal is connected to node A. So the potential or voltage at node A is VTH. Now apply KCL at node A. So we get, I am assuming this current is incoming current and assuming this current is an outgoing current. Okay, then incoming current is equal to outgoing current. And incoming current is Vx divided by 4000. That is equal to outgoing current, that is Va minus 4 divided by 2 kΩ. That is VA, voltage at the node A, minus this 4 voltage divided by this resistance, that is 2K, so 2000. Now Vx is equal to VTH and Va is also is equal to VTH. Now substituting VTH divided by 4000, that is equal to Va is equal to VTH. VTH minus 4 divided by 2000. Now 4000 and 2000 will cancel and the resultant is equal to 2. So VTH, that is equal to 2 into VTH minus 4, or VTH is equal to 2 VTH minus 8, or we can write VTH is equal to 8 volt. So in this option VTH is 8 volt is here, but here there is an option none of this. So we need to check what is the value of RTH also. Option is either C or D. So we can eliminate A and B. We have already told that for problems including both dependent sources and independent sources, then we have to find RTH, that is equal to VTH divided by ISC. That is the open circuit voltage divided by short circuit current. For doing that, what you have to do is we should short circuit this load terminal. So current flowing through this is ISC. So what is the value of Vx? Since this is a short circuit path, so the value of Vx, that is equal to 0. So when Vx is equal to 0, what's the value of the current in this current source? That is equal to Vx by 4000. Vx is equal to 0. 0 divided by 4000. Okay, so this is equal to 0. So this current is equal to 0 means we can open circuit this. So there is no current flowing through this dependent current source. Since Vx is equal to 0, so we can open circuit this branch. So the circuit is reduced like this. Now we can calculate the value of ISC. So we have an independent 4 voltage source and 2 resistance 2K and 3K. So ISC, that is equal to 4 divided by 2 plus 3K. 2 plus 3 into 10 raised to 3. That is equal to 0.8 milliampere. Now RTH is equal to VTH by ISC. That is RTH, that is equal to 8 divided by 0.8 into 10 raised to minus 3. That is equal to 10 kilo ohm. So our correct option is VTH is equal to 8 volt and RTH is equal to 10 kilo ohm. So C is the correct option. So we can draw the equivalent circuit as VTH. That is VTH is equal to 8 volt and RTH, that is equal to 10 kilo ohm and the terminal A, B. Okay. Now suppose I am connecting a load across this terminal AB. This load B, suppose RL, that is equal to some 20 kilo ohm. Then what is the load current IL? Then we can find IL, that is equal to 8 divided by 10K plus 20K, that is equal to 30K. Okay, this is the load current, that is equal to 8 by 30 milliampere. Okay, the question is, we want to find the current passing through this 3 ohm resistance. Let this be IL. So the question to find the load current, load is connected across this terminal. Let this be A, B. And options are given 1 ampere, 3 ampere, 5 ampere and 0.714 ampere. Okay. Now, first what I am going to do is, I am converting this current source is a voltage source. This current source is 3 ampere in parallel with a 2 ohm resistance. So, this branch is equivalent to a voltage source that is in series with a resistance. Okay, so the value of this voltage, that is equal to this 3 into this resistance, that is 3 into 2, that is V is equal to 6 volt, that is in series with 2 ohm resistance. The conversion, that is the source transformation, is discussed in detail in the previous lectures. You can refer that for getting more concept in this kind of transformation. I am going to draw the circuit after the source transformation is performed. Now, after source transformation, our circuit will look like this. In this branch, a 6 volt in series with a 2 ohm resistance. Now, I am going to obtain the Thevenin's equivalent voltage with respect to this terminal AB. For that purpose, I open circuit this load. Now, I want to find the open circuit voltage across the terminal AB, that is equal to VTH. Okay. Now, at this point, the voltage, let this be node A, and voltage is same as that of the VTH. Apply KCL at this node. That means I am assuming all currents are outgoing current. That this current is going in this direction and this current is going in this direction. So this current plus this current is equal to 0. That is sum of the current meeting at any junction is equal to 0. So this current can be write as VA minus this 12 volt divided by total resistance, that is this 2 ohm plus 4 ohm. So 6 ohm, that plus this current, that is equal to VA minus 6 volt divided by 2 ohm. This is equal to 0. And VA is same as that of the VTH since this is connected to the node A. So I am replacing VA by VTH minus 12 divided by 6 plus VTH minus 6 divided by 2. Now take the LCM. So we get VTH minus 12 plus 3 into VTH minus 6, that is equal to 0. So VTH plus 3 VTH, that is equal to 4 VTH minus 12 minus 18, that is minus 30 is equal to 0. Or VTH, that is equal to 30 divided by 4, that is equal to 7.5 volt. So the value of VTH is 7.5 volt. Now we want to find RTH. For doing that, we short circuit all the voltage source. So I am going to short circuit this voltage source and short circuit this voltage source. And RTH is the resistance when looking from load terminal. So this is our RTH. Now this 2 and 4 is in series. So the net resistance become 6 ohm. Now this 6 ohm and 2 ohm are in parallel. That is 6 parallel 2. That is in series with the 6 ohm. This is our RTH. 6 into 2 divided by 6 plus 2. That is 8 plus 6. That is equal to RTH. 6 into 2 means 12. 12 by 8. That is 12 by 8 plus 6. This is equal to 1.5 plus 6. That is equal to RTH. So we get the value of RTH also. By an equivalent circuit whose value of voltage is equal to Thevenin's equivalent voltage, that is equal to 7.5 volt. In series with RTH, RTH is again 6 plus 1.5, that is 7.5 ohm. Now we can connect the load across this terminal AB. Load is 3 ohm. So we want to find the current IL. So IL is equal to 7.5 divided by 7.5 plus 3. That is equal to 7.5 divided by 10.5. That is equal to 0.714 ampere. So D is the correct option. Now the question is, we want to find Thevenin's equivalent circuit with respect to this terminal AB. Okay. Now we have two sources, 50 voltage and 25 volt. So what is the current I that is passing through the circuit? That is I is equal to potential difference, that is 50 minus 25 divided by total resistance, that is 10 plus 5, that is equal to 15. So this is equal to 25 divided by 15, that is equal to 5 by 3 ampere. It's numerically equal to 1.67 ampere. Okay. Now we want to find voltage across this terminal AB, that is VAB. This is plus and minus. This is equal to open circuit voltage or VTH, Thevenin's equivalent voltage. Now we can obtain this voltage by applying KVL either for this loop or for this loop. Now I am applying KVL for this loop. That means 10 into current through this resistance. That is a potential across this 10 ohm resistance. That is 10 into 1.67 plus VTH, that is a VAB. That now we are moving from lower potential to higher potential. So minus 50, that is equal to 0. 16.7 plus VTH is equal to 50. Or VTH is equal to 50 minus 16.7. That is equal to 33.3. So we got the value of open circuit voltage VTH. Now we want to find RTH. For finding RTH, what you have to do is, we short circuit this 50 volt and 25 volt. Now find the equivalent value of resistance with respect to this terminal A and B. With respect to this terminal A and B, this 10 ohm and 5 ohm are in parallel. Therefore, RTH is equal to 10 parallel 5. That is equal to 10 into 5 divided by 10 plus 5. That is equal to 50 divided by 15. That is equal to 10 divided by 3 is equal to 3.333 ohm. Therefore, our Thevenin's equivalent circuit become, we have voltage source and a series resistance. This is our terminal A and B. And this voltage is 33.3 volt and this resistance is 3.33 ohm. This is equal to RTH and this is equal to VTH. So this is our equivalent circuit. Okay.